Back on the show is Mickey Gall, who's got a big fight coming up here at UFC 203 on September 10th against CM Punk. Mickey, how you doing?
Doing great, buddy.
Awesome. Good to hear. And I know you just finished training, so I appreciate you taking the time here. And you and I last spoke in January, and a lot has happened since then. You got signed to the UFC. You fought Mike Jackson at UFC Fight Night 82 back in February. Take me through that week leading up to that fight. What was it like to be a member of the UFC roster?
Oh, fight week, man. It was amazing. I really enjoyed it. You know, I liked all the media stuff. I enjoyed doing all the media stuff, like talking to people about stuff I love to do. It was fun, man. And the UFC is cool, man. They treat their fighters great. I had a really good time, and I felt great. That was the best I ever felt going into a fight. And I plan on taking that momentum into this one and crushing this dude.
And were you nervous at all before the fight? Because, you just had this huge opportunity here against Mike Jackson. If you lost, you weren't going to get the fight with CM Punk. A lot was on the line in that fight.
Yeah, I always get a little nervous before my fights. But, I've been working with a sports psychologist, Dr. Lee Monday, and I work on just staying present, staying in the moment, and, I just harnessing those nerves and making them work for me, like channeling that energy into good energy. And it's been working great for me, man. I felt amazing then, and like I said, I'm going to feel amazing on the 10th, too.
How much did it help having the fact that you train with the Miller brothers? Both Miller brothers have been in the UFC. They're veterans. I'm sure they gave you a lot of good advice heading into that UFC fight.
Yeah, man. It's been a big help over my career, training with Jim and Dan. They're two great guys, guys I've looked up to for years. And, yeah, man, they're I guess they're more the strong silent type, but if you ever ask, they'll give you anything they got. But yeah, they always have. I'm always trying to pick nuggets of good information out of them.
Last question on UFC Fight Night 82. How did you celebrate after the fight? That must have been a huge night for you.
Yeah, I was the second fight of the night, so I had to wait in the back for the post-fight press conference. So we were. A lot of the celebrating, we were just chilling out in the back, all talking, laughing, eating the food. And then we went to In-N-Out Burger. I never had that before. And I'm a very healthy eater, so that was quite a treat for me. So yeah, we ate the burgers and fries, stuff like that.
How'd you feel after eating it? I mean, it must have tasted good for, a couple minutes, and then it probably hit your digestive system. You're like, shit.
I felt fine. I felt fine. I was surprised. I was like, I wonder if I'm going to be paying for this in the bathroom in a little while, but I was good. I felt great.
All right, let's talk about this fight here. Here we are in September. You last fought in February. Were you ever worried at all that this fight was not going to happen, especially when, you heard the news about CM hurting his back?
I guess a little bit. I was a little nervous. I stayed pretty optimistic, though. I really felt like that I believe that he wanted to get a fight, and that there's no other guy that's going to get that fight than me. I didn't want to have to wait. I'm glad this fight's finally happening. I don't want to have to wait around for this guy for too much longer. I plan on doing big things in my MMA career, and this is just the start of it. So I didn't want to wait around too much, but I did know it was a good opportunity. There's a reason they call it the money fight. There's a reason they said I got the golden ticket, and I plan on cashing that in.
Have you watched the CM Punk documentary at all? They're like 2 episodes in so far.
I have. Yeah, I checked them out. I'm actually going to be on the last 2 episodes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. What are your thoughts on it? I mean, have you seen enough? Have you been impressed with some of the stuff he's done? Have you not been impressed? What are your impressions of it?
That I'm not impressed, but that right now the footage that we've seen is from like a year ago, year and a half. So I'm sure he's improved from then. When I watch him, he moves kind of clunky. Like he moves like a guy that wasn't very good at sports, and I don't move like that. I move a lot. I move very fluidly. I'm quick. So he's gonna be in over his head. But I'm sure by the last 2 episodes, they're gonna have him looking a lot better. But it's still not going to be enough to hang with me.
We referenced the Miller brothers here. I got to ask, when Jim Miller knocked out Takanori Gomi at UFC 200, how much of a boost was that for your team?
It's great, man. We all, I think I enjoyed UFC 200 so much. And I think a big reason for that was because of Jim setting off the night like that. You know, like I said, man, that's a guy I've looked up to, a guy I really love and admire. So watching him, you know, get the job done and look so great, just, you know, made me happy. Put me in a great mood for that night.
This fight's a couple weeks away, but has the weight cut already started for you?
Not really, man. I was like, the weight's just coming off nice and easy. It's weird when you get around fight time, the weight just comes off, and I'm in a perfect spot. I'm in a great spot. I was over 200 pounds a month ago. I'd really focused on strength and conditioning, so I gotten bigger and stronger since the fight, and my cardio's improved. Every aspect of me in this past 6 months, however long it's been, has improved. I body up the version of me. I beat up the version of me that fought in February. So, you know, I made the most of this time, and, you know, the weight, yeah, it's coming off easy.
I know on Monday you were doing some Snapchat stuff for the UFC. I know you talked a bit about it here, how you like doing that type of stuff. Is that something you kind of asked the UFC to do more of? Because it seems like you're really enjoying it.
Yeah, you know, I started talking on Twitter. I was like, I love watching fights. I love the UFC Fight Pass. I'm so happy they gave me an account. It's awesome. And I watch fights all the time. I study everyone. I pick up on things. It just, you know, raises my fighter IQ. And, you know, I was watching it one night, and I was like, maybe I could take this opportunity to interact with, you know, some of the people that are interested in this stuff, the people who follow me on social media. And then my friend Randy, who works for the UFC, was like, hey, man, I had this idea. He's like, you take over the Snapchat account, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, heck yeah, man. And, you know, we've had fun with it so far, and we're going to keep those going.
Good. That's awesome. Yeah, because like I said, you seem like you really enjoy it, and it's also something, you know, outside of fighting that I think is a good option for you, you know, doing the social media stuff. So I think that's really cool. But September 10th, I got to get a prediction for this fight. How do you see this fight ending?
Oh man, it's going to be violent. I'm gonna devastate this dude. I say, you know, same prediction as all my fights. The same thing just the thing I do every time. But, you know, we move around. I find my shots. I land a big shot. They either go down or if they don't go down, I get the takedown. But usually I drop them, and if they stay awake and they're not like completely out, I'll either pound them out or spit them. I'll probably take them out in the first round. But I've been training to go 3. 3 rounds, you know, it's becoming pretty easy for me to do that. But I think 5 minutes is too long for him to be in there with me. Great.
And I know you're not looking past CM Punk here, but is there anyone else in the division you're looking at after this fight as far as a possible matchup?
Everybody. I want to be the champ. So, you know, everybody.
Great. Well, we're certainly looking forward to it. UFC 203 going down September 10th. Mickey, appreciate the time, man. Where can people get a hold of you on social media? If you got any thank yous or shout outs, the floor is yours.
I'm at Mickey Gall, and you know, a big sponsor that's helped me out is Frederick Chevrolet. So give that, and then let me give a couple of training partners. My main training partner, LJ Raboli. My buddy who's sitting in the car right next to me now, Rich Petishnock, and Chris Critalo, Jeff Honey, and OG Billy D. My man, OG Billy D, of course.